Before we begin, I just want to emphasize that this list was not made to offend anyone. So, please don't ban me if you disagree with the placement. It's just for fun. That being said, Aelite gets F tier. Nah, I'm just kidding. Now, Aelite is actually on A tier. He would be higher, except that one of the rules for an admin, you have to have a mic, and he has terrible mic quality, so it's just kind of hypocritical in my opinion. Now, Caxon, he's actually one of the smartest admins on the server. That being said, he's going on A tier because I disagree with his tax policies. Now, Innie would go on A tier because he's just an all-around okay dude, except that he watches too much hentai, so C tier. Now, Blue Bandit, he doesn't seem to be too bad of a person. He's just a little bit too controlling in my opinion, so C tier. Now, as for Asteria, I would put them on S tier, but they abandoned the daily meme thread, so A tier. Now, as for Cole, he just seems like a pretty smart dude, pretty okay. Doesn't really seem to be any bad qualities about him, so S tier. Now, as for Meat, as you can tell, I couldn't even find a profile picture for him, so I couldn't find any information about this guy at all. So by default, D tier for default, yeah. Now, as for Dumbago, I was gonna place him on A tier, but he tends to post Gymshop blasphemy, so bumped him down to C tier. But then I saw he's a big fan of Wallace, so B tier. Now, as for NinjaWorks, just S tier person, that's all there is to it. I mean, he has a bad understanding of physics, but that's okay. Now, as for Wincat, they're an admin on a 1.9 combat server, but they don't like shield PvP, so B tier. Now, as for Greed, I straight up thought, like Meat, this guy did not exist, but he does exist, but I can't figure out anything about him besides Greed's Vault, and that's about it, so C tier. 9 hours, pretty alright admin, A tier. Now, as for Sloth, once again, another potential S tier, but they don't like peanut butter, so A tier. As for 36S, they're obsessed with Dream, so C tier. Shijurio, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce that, but they seem okay, so A tier. Capper, I don't know how you pronounce that, would be a B tier, but he uses a PS3 controller for Minecraft, for Java Minecraft, so C tier, because that's gross. Now, as for TM Pod, he's a pretty funny and intelligent guy, so S tier. Now, as for Alieb, I would give him S tier plus, but until he brings back the Santa hat meme, I'm just going to put him back on S tier. Now, as for Comfy, would put them in A tier, but they watch too much anime, so B tier. Okay, now Blizzard, F tier. Now, as for Unstoppable, they are pretty much a relic from a distant past, so A tier. Now, as for Cold Monkey, they would be a very strong A tier, but they run a pretty mid TikTok account, so C tier. Now, as for Pepita, they're pretty active. They're not, okay, I say they're active, but they live in South America, so D tier. I'm just kidding, C tier. Now, B-Man would be an A tier, except they're a Corpse fan, so C tier. Now, as for Will Wall, they're a Wallace fan, and they preach the Gymshop gospel, so S tier. Now, as for Exeteric, I don't know how you actually pronounce that, but once again, another Gymshop acolyte, so A tier. Now, as for Etch, I was going to put him on C tier for being pretty mid at PvP, but he does like frogs, and he has a pretty funny resource pack, so B tier. As for John Gamer, they're pretty alright dude, and they like Terraria, so B tier. Now, as for Half Pint, they're pretty mid at PvP, and they run a mid YouTube channel, so D tier. No, I'm just kidding. He's pretty good at PvP, and he deserves a lot more subs for his YouTube channel. A tier. Now, as for Marlow, I can't tell if they have like a legitimate small following on the PvPLegacy Discord, or if they just have like a bunch of alts and he just talks to himself. B tier. Okay, as for Need Void, they're pretty smart guy, except that they said they prefer 1.8 PvP, and that's just not allowed, man. Now as for Major Sopa, they like cats, I prefer dogs, so B tier. As for Lettuce K, pretty sure they haven't logged on since 2021, so D tier. As for Learn, they're a pop main, so C tier. Okay. Now, before we continue, I want to admit, like, this probably isn't all of the admins or anyone who's ever been staff. The server's been around since 2016 and maybe longer, I'm not really sure. So, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 people that are not on this list. Please don't flame me for it. Like, you guys don't have a list out there for everyone to see, so just give me some grace. That being said, a lot of these people, as you could tell, I couldn't get their profile pictures simply because they didn't really have any, but I just knew they were an admin, so I just used some other one's profile picture. Okay, so we're moving on to the retired roles, which are people who used to have staff and stepped down, or they had staff and they haven't logged on for a while. That's, as you can tell, most of these people here. Once again, don't get offended if they get put on D tier, simply because they haven't logged on in 3 to 4 years and they were your best friend in 2017. That being said, Shane Wolf gets D tier because, as I said, he doesn't really do much. As for Dinosaurus, they haven't been on since 2020. Okay, as for Lime, pretty much an average guy, except they play Overwatch too much, so C tier. Now, as for Bulix, they're a big fan of the fishing pole meta, and I hate the fishing pole meta, so D tier. Okay, now as for Ranger Gillian, they were a pretty good builder, actually. I would put them on A tier just for that, but they haven't been on since about 5 years now, so that bumps them down to D tier. Now, Estra, aka Bingus Shack, likes cats, so C tier for cats. Okay, so as for this guy, Blue Knight Fire, they've changed their name like once a month since 2016, so they're pretty hard to track down. That being said, they don't like Zoomers, and I think that's pretty funny, so B tier. So as for Melly, from what I could tell, she got the mod role almost instantly, then disappeared instantly as well, and then came back like a year ago, and then instantly disappeared again. So for that, F tier. Now as for Speku, when they were active, all they did was just listen to music in the bot channel, so D tier. As for Impostura, they did have the mod role like 7 years ago, but that's about it, so F tier. As for Destruction, once again, they haven't been on for a while, but they were a mod when it was vanilla, what was it? Vanilla PvP? Something like that. But from what I could tell, they seemed to be a good mod, so pumped up for being a good mod. C tier. Once again, Lixos, not much is known about them, so D tier. Now, once again, Y-Cycle, a mod lost to time, but they seemed like a good person at the time, so C tier. Now, these are one of the more active retired staff members, but that being said, just because of who they are as a person, F tier. I'm just kidding. B tier. Okay, as for Druni, once again, another inactive mod, but they do have a really entertaining YouTube channel, so B tier. Okay, now we're moving on to the extras. These are people who either had their own special roles or were either above admin or something outside of admin if they had a unique role in the development of the server. Okay, up first, the Michael Cycle 200. Once again, another player who disappeared to time, but from what I could see, they did something so bad that they had to get the Stalin treatment and they just got wiped off the face of the earth. So, F tier. Okay. Once again, another mod that just got the Stalin treatment, so I assume the same thing happened. So, F tier. And as for Hayden, once again, another mod that from what I could tell no one liked, so F tier. And now ADM Crunch, they're a pedo, so F tier. I would give them F tier plus, but that's not a thing. So, wait, actually, hold on. Okay, as for ADM Crunch, they get F plus because they're a pedophile. Okay, so those are my rankings for the server. Once again, to reiterate, this was not made to offend or insult anyone. So if you are offended, from the bottom of my heart, get over it. I will be putting a link in the description of this video to this exact tier list template so you can make your own ranking for the staff. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time in the next video in about 1 to 5 months.